Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of pickling. Now this is definitely something that people did in the olden days. They pickled because they didn't have canning devices. They pickled because they had a harvest they didn't know what to do with, and this worked for them. But of course we don't do that anymore. And of course, as I said before, they didn't know how good this stuff was. So I'm going to show you. Now there's two different kinds of pickling. One is if you want to have it for your kids to munch on, or you want carrot sticks that sit in the fridge, you open the jar and within a week or so they're gone. And then you do another lot. For that lot you need a low salt pickle. You don't want a very, very salty product because you're turning it over before it's going to go off. But if you were, say, wanting to do a great big vat of these over the winter, you have to have a high salt pickle because they simply won't last. So I'm going to give you how to do both. I only ever do the light salt. All right, so that's how it goes. So what you need for this, I believe, are firm veggies. And I've decided that carrot sticks taste really good. I've always been anti-carrot sticks, even though we run this weight loss site. Carrot sticks and me have never really gotten on, but these actually are very, very good. So this is what you do. You just chop them up into kind of bite-sized bits. And I find the best way to do this, to fill the jar, and you may have different ideas about this, but I just grab a whole bunch of these things, like so, and then just, that kind of worked, and then pack them in. Because the more you get in there, the more pickle you've got. So, in it goes. Now, they say, and I can't tell you whether this is true or not, because I've always done it, and maybe if you didn't do it, it'll also work, but to put a grape leaf in the jar. Now I know it's amazing because we're in the middle of winter here, and I actually have a grape leaf. I pinched it out of the grapevine that's in the glass house, and pop that somewhere in your jar, and the tannins in the grape leaf will actually stop your pickles going soft and rubbery. So we're going to do it. It probably would have been a good idea to shove the thing on the bottom, but I've put it at the side. And also I've got some dill. And I think dill and carrots are quite a good idea. So I'm going to flavour my sticks with dill. But you can put bay leaves, or like this one over here, I've got lemon slices, garlic cloves, bay leaves, anything you like really. And then shove some more in, why not? Fill the jar up tightly packed. Now, if you don't want to have this on your shelf looking beautiful, you can just be very rough about this. And in a minute I'm going to get my knife out and chop. Like so. Because you don't want them coming too high up the jar. You've got to have them covered. That's the number one rule of pickling. Cover them. So I'm going to chop these ones up into half and just basically throw them in. There we go. Like so. Pack them down. I think I might just get them that many in. There. All right, now we've got to get the brine. Now I'm going to do the light brine, so that would be 1.5 teaspoons per cup of water. These are half teaspoons, so that's 3 of those. And to help the pH lower, I'm going to do just over a teaspoon of vinegar. That's just to lower the pH, it's not going to preserve anything. And then the water. One thing you have to remember here is not to use chlorinated water, because you may end up getting the wrong kind of bacteria in here, or the thing is going to go off. So what I do is I use water straight out of the tap, because we're on rainwater and bore water, so our water's good to go. But if you are in the city, you can either buy bottled water, distilled water, or you can get your ordinary tap water and sit it on the bench for 24 hours and the chlorine will evaporate out of there. Or you can boil it for 20 minutes and get on with it and use it, but not boiling, cool it down. Or you can put a pinch of vitamin C in there, vitamin C powder. because that actually reacts with the chlorine and dissipates it immediately. So either way, you can use one of those two things, but don't use chlorinated water, and don't drink it either. Now I find these things fantastic, these preserving funnels. And that's not going to be enough, so I'm going to do another one. Now I've noticed on the web that a lot of people say to inoculate this with whey. And I just can't figure out why that is, because I make a lot of dairy products because I have cows. And I know that the bacteria that are in whey are quite different from what I'm wanting in this jar. There is Lactobacillus plantarum in unpasteurised milk, but most of our milk is pasteurised, and the yogurt starters don't have it. So if you see that in an instruction anywhere, I would ignore it. Basically, you're going to get the right thing doing it this way. So a bit of vinegar just to lower the pH a little bit. Here we go. And we're going to show you how to make that shortly. And then water. And fill it up to cover, in this case, the carrots. And that's actually a perfect 2 cups. Pop on your lid and leave that sitting on the bench for 2 or 3 days. You may notice that little bubbles start to rise up the side, and that's a good sign. That means you're well underway. And then take it and put it in the fridge. And you need to leave it there probably at least a week before you start tasting to see whether they're starting to sour. And I did mine and it wasn't a week, it was a little bit longer than that. And then I tried again, it wasn't quite there, and then magically it's all good. And then of course you can start dishing them out to your kids, and hopefully they'll absolutely love them, because I do. So all the best with that. Try anything you like. Put in here cauliflower, put in here broccoli, whatever you like, but something nice and crunchy. And you'll be filling yourself up with good things and that lovely Lactobacillus plantarum.